Welcome everyone. This is Nichel Anderson. I'm your host for my podcast show, Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond. So today is my summer break release for my podcast show, where I take a break about 3 months and then return back for my next season, which starts in September. And during the summer, the dates kind of change, but I usually roll that out. So it's going to be today, of course, and then the next one would be and that would be on July the 25th. The next one would be in August the 29th. So for this month, I'm releasing it after my finale of my previous season, which was season 5. I do encourage you to check that finale out, and let's get started. All right. Usually in this podcast episodes during the summer, I don't really make it long because I'm on vacation, but I do kind of drop, of course, an episode during the summer. So let's go ahead and get into this. Thank you so much for joining me today. And usually my first month when I'm on my summer break, I kind of recap the previous season. So that's what I'm going to do. So for season 5, I didn't release a lot of MOLIAE short stories, and really what I'm thinking, and I know I mentioned it before, but just for those just joining my podcast show, is that eventually I'm going to go to having most of that content where it's going to pay in to be like a membership to get that extra good content that I'm releasing. I just haven't set that up. I was on a different platform, but it just got too much to manage that or what have you. So now I'm going to see if I can use a different platform. It might be through Podbeam. I'm not sure, but just make a note of that soon I'm going to go back and doing the clip snippets. I just been so busy on some other things that I'm rolling out. I didn't really get a chance to set that up and kind of roll it out. That's what I'm doing. So that will be in the future, that to get most of that, the full short story, what have you, is going to go back to a clip snippet. But nonetheless, that's that. So let's talk about future plans for my podcast. So I definitely is interested in doing more guest interviews. I didn't get to do too much more during my season 5, and mostly I did the relationship. We can get into that later show, but I'm definitely thinking of doing that more in the future. So for the recap of last season 5, what really occurred was me talking about different topics, particularly about relationships, about how the characters and how they relate and stuff like that. Of course, my comics book that kind of really rolled out and kicked off. I'm very excited about that. I got a lot of feedback in the sense of people being interested in it. I just need them to go to Webtoons and to check it out. So, but nonetheless, so that really kind of correlate to my season 5. So I'm very excited about that. It was a good year. So moving forward, the future plans for the podcast show is, again, what I mentioned, is to have more interviews, particularly to talk about relationship, because the podcast is all centered around the first seed, which is my book, Mitzrayim, a memoir of a past life in ancient Egypt, and that became a theatrical production because I wanted to be a feature film. I know it says movie if you've been following me on Facebook, or you went there and you saw my social media platform on there with my Moments of Love in Ancient Egypt, which that's the theatrical name for my book. But it never really became a feature film. That's why I'm in Atlanta. So at any rate, my goal is to talk about the main thing, which is about a relationship that you have with someone that you love, and about family. All right. So definitely want to do more shows like that, and to have more topics where I'm just having a conversation. I'm not really doing a story. I will. It's definitely Mahogany is coming back. I got a lot of feedback with Atlantis that's coming back. So definitely that. So let's move to questions. So I do answer some questions. And the next one is basically, what was my favorite podcast episode of season 5? I have a lot, so I'm going to try to narrow it down. I definitely like when I did the bonus, why you should attend the live show. I don't really do live shows. My podcast episodes are recorded because I try to make it the best that I possibly can when I'm working with. So I definitely like the live shows. I'm getting used to using the Podbeam, so that was definitely one of my favorite ones. The other one, of course, was MOLIAE episode 59, Moments of Love of Mitzrayim King and Queen. So that's definitely, I love that. That was in September, the premiere show. Then I also enjoyed when I was talking about my comics book, and that was November the 29th. So I got a lot of people downloading that, trying to find out more about the book and so forth, the comics book series. So I definitely recommend that. And then the episode 2 of my comics book, which is available on Webtoons, Deeds of One Can Be Many. within the Sudan. So that was seemed popular on that. And then all my Atlantis, I really got a lot of people downloading that from iTunes, and Atlantis 5, 6, and 7, particularly 5. There are always those refusing the call of truth. That was on October the 11th. So all of those, Atlantis 6, that was released on October the 25th. Behold, a betrayal is amongst us. So that was good. And then Atlantis 7, in a new day, we shall prevail as Atlantans. That was November the 8th. That was good. And I definitely want to have a call out on the previous season finale. Hani discovers his enemies are bound in Orion. I love that when I did that one. So gonna touch on that. And moving forward with the finale of season 5, what I did last month, of the Abyss, Hani chooses a different path. I can't wait to break that down in my director clip notes. So those are my favorite. And let me see what else. Another question was, what would be your main thing to do this summer? I think just relaxing and planning my next move, in the sense of when I'm doing my podcast, how I'm going to take it to do the next thing, incorporate what I already done. So really just looking at a blueprint. That's what I'm really going to be doing. So when I'm ready to announce in September, this is this. All right, so I don't want to really take too much time. I just want to say thank you so much for, staying tuned to my show. I really appreciate you. Do check out my other podcast, Surviving Your Journey to a Success. I get really into how we can stay motivated and have a happy life. And I just appreciate everything. If you purchase my book, I highly recommend, help a sister out. Do a review on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Like I said, particularly Barnes & Noble, wiped out all of my reviews I had over the years. So if you could do that, I really appreciate a positive review. And Amazon, like I said, sometimes keep those haters away. It really helps to really show my message of my book, Mitzrayim, a memoir of a past life in ancient Egypt. And I just want to wish you everyone a happy summer, and thank you. I see you in the next one.